What was your favorite childhood memory caught on film or videotape? Do you have an easy way to watch it and share with friends and family or to post it? Probably not. Lucky for you, we found a solution, Legacy Box. And now is the time to take advantage of their best sale of the year during their holiday sales event. Legacy Box is the most meaningful gift you can give this holiday season to family or even yourself. It's simple, safe, and has been trusted by millions, including me. And for a limited time, you can preserve your tapes, film, reels, and photos as low as $27, saving you hundreds. Hurry. Legacy Box's best sale of the year won't last long. Visit legacybox.com/ratchet for an unreal 65% off during the Legacy Box holiday sales event. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast. Shop Legacy Box's lowest prices of the year now at legacybox.com/ratchet. Buy your Legacy Box today. Send it when you're ready. Legacybox.com/ratchet.
What up, y'all? It's Joe Budden, here to talk about Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to win real money while watching football. You can get up to 100 times your money.
Prize Picks will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Just download the Prize Picks app and use code SPOTIFY. That's code SPOTIFY on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play a $5 lineup. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This episode is brought to you by Skinny Pop Popcorn. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Oh, so light and crunchy. Skinny Pop Original Popcorn is the snack you've been searching for. Made with just 3 simple ingredients: popcorn kernels, sunflower oil, and salt. Snacking never felt or tasted so good. Perfectly popped, endlessly delicious. Give yourself permission to snack and pick up Skinny Pop Original Popcorn today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and those who don't identify as either, you are listening to Ratchet and Respectable. It is a dreary day here in Cape Town, day 2 of the dreary and the cold, which I don't understand. Like, we are in the middle of spring, very rapidly headed into summer. I don't understand. We're in day 2 of like overcast, massive clouds, rain. I was like, it's not rainy season. Why is it raining? Womp womp. We have lots of good Black news this week. I'm giving you a heads up that I'm going to spoil. I need to talk about Cross with Aldous Hodge. I read that it is the #1 show on Amazon worldwide. I was like, I definitely was over here watching it in South Africa. So congratulations to Aldous Hodge and the whole cast. I love that DC, they could have done a little more DC in the show. Like, they didn't give you no accents, but they did give you Ben's Chili Bowl, and they did give you Backyard Man. There was a very bougie scene of Black people at dinner. That was real DC. That related to me. Beautiful shots of the city, and not just like, oh, there's the monument, like, oh, there's the Lincoln Memorial. There were a couple murals that they showed. I was like, oh, somebody really went looking around the city. That's not easy to find. That's not something that just pops up in like the stock photography. Stock videography? Is that a thing? Whatever. That's not the point. None of this is the point. The point is, I need to talk about Cross. I'm not going to give away like the major plot point, obviously, like who is the killer and then, who is stalking him. I need to talk about the girlfriend on the show, because that whole storyline just befuddled me. Like, why are you there, sis? So I think I said we had lots of good Black news this week. Indeed, we do. There's a new Kendrick album. It just came out of nowhere. The New York Times notes that it was released without any social media, without any advanced singles, videos, like nothing. Like, no one said a word. It just appeared out of nowhere. I saw people talking about GNX, and I thought it was like a single. And I was like, oh, okay, like Kendrick dropped another single. Like, he's known for that. Like, he'll just drop a single out of nowhere. And then somebody was like, yeah, like the Luther song is crazy. And I was like, I'm sorry, excuse me? This is a whole album? Indeed. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. I can only listen to new music in 2 circumstances. Like, I have to either be doing cardio of some kind, or I have to be driving. Like, that's the only way new music really penetrates to me. Otherwise, it just becomes background noise and I completely tune it out. So I haven't listened to the new Kendrick yet. It only came out 4 days ago. Like I said, the beginning of the episode, it's gloomy outside. So I haven't been working out, and I don't have a car here. So womp. I'll get to it. Tomorrow's supposed to be beautiful. And then Thanksgiving, I have a whole Lux Day plan, but it starts with, God willing, a walk along the waterfront. I haven't been able to do that in a really long time. So hopefully I'm up for it. Oh, I guess while we're talking about Kendrick, this is not good news. Drake is suing Universal Music Group over the success of Kendrick's Not Like Us. I'm reading this on Billboard. It says that Drake is accusing UMG and Spotify of a quote and unquote a scheme to quote artificially inflate Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. This says in a filing on Monday, Drake's Frozen Moments LLC accuses UMG of launching an illegal scheme involving bots, payola, and other methods to pump up Lamar's song, a track that savagely attacked Drake amid an ongoing feud between the two stars. I would like Billboard to note that it was an ongoing feud that was initiated and repeatedly instigated by Drake. He started this shit. Kendrick finished the shit. Drake started this shit. The petition alleges that UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves. They're accusing UMG of violating the federal RICO statute, and they also allege deceptive business practices and false advertising under New York state law. Billboard does note the court filings they use the word remarkable instead of bitch ass. The court filings are a remarkable twist in the high-profile beef between the two stars, which saw Drake and Lamar exchange stinging diss tracks over a period of months earlier this year. That such a dispute would spill into business litigation seems almost unthinkable in the world of hip-hop. Imagine Jay-Z suing Nas over Ether. Imagine. Billboard also notes that this lawsuit represents a, quote, stunning rift between Drake and UMG, where the star has spent his entire career. It says first through signing a deal with Lil Wayne's Young Money imprint, which was distributed by Republic Records, and then by signing directly to Republic. It says Lamar, meanwhile, has spent his entire career associated with UMG. First through the TDE imprint, which was distributed by Interscope, and more recently through his own company, PG Lang, which he licenses through Interscope. Billboard explains that Monday's filing is not yet a lawsuit, but a so-called pre-action petition. It's a procedure under New York law that aims to secure information before filing a lawsuit. UMG emphatically denies the accusation. The suggestion that UMG would do anything to undermine any of its artists is offensive and untrue. We employ the highest ethical practices in our marketing and promotional campaigns. Okay, now you're pushing it. Y'all are a record label. Everybody knows y'all corrupt. Stop. The statement continues, quote, no amount of contrived and absurd legal arguments in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans choose the music that they want to hear. And Billboard says they reached out to Spotify. They declined to comment. They're explaining further here. It says UMG carried out its scheme in a variety of ways, including by charging Spotify vastly reduced licensing rates in exchange for the streamer recommending the song to users who would search for unrelated songs and artists. They also claimed UMG paid influencers to boost the song on social media and also hired armies of bots to fraudulently spike the numbers. Billboard highlights this part of the pre-action, whatever. Drake alleges that UMG paid Apple to have Siri purposely misdirect users to Kendrick's song. It says online sources reported that when users asked Siri to play the album Certified Lover Boy, this is hilarious, that Siri played Not Like Us instead. And it said it happened because Not Like Us contains the lyric Certified Pedophile, an allegation against Drake. Apple is not named as a respondent in the petition, nor accused of any legal wrongdoing. They also allege that UMG has actively tried to conceal its wrongdoing, including by firing staffers who are, quote, perceived as having loyalty to Drake. Drake has repeatedly sought to engage UMG in discussions to resolve the ongoing harm he has suffered as a result of UMG's actions. They're going after money. Drake also alleges that UMG told him that instead of trying to sue them, that he should sue Kendrick. Sir, you sound like a sore loser here. This is complete bitch assness. God himself would not get me to confess that because of this beef that I initiated, that I have suffered harm and loss. That someone made a diss track against me that has become so massively, insanely popular that I am no longer able to do my job in the manner that I was accustomed because I got my ass verbally beat so goddamn bad. I would never confess it. I would just be out here acting like nothing was wrong. I would keep putting out music, which Drake has done, that apparently is not selling. I haven't heard anybody talk about, oh, you heard that new Drake in a very long time. But although I read there was an album with like Party Next Door, I've heard no one talking about this. So I exist in a circle of people who are aware of, familiar with, enjoyed past tense, intentional Drake music. I don't hear anybody ever talking about anything Drake. Like Kendrick has like obliterated this man. He started it. You came for the man. The man didn't like you. The man had little jabs at you here and there, but he never like came at you full throttle. Like you decided to escalate a rap beef with like a Pulitzer Prize winning rapper. I don't know what you were thinking. This course of action didn't work. Because now like you sued someone with the complaint being that their song was so massively popular that it's impossible that it was that popular. No, the song really just resonated. It was catchy as fuck. Like that whole A minor thing. My parents, they are retired people. My parents know who Kendrick Lamar is. My dad knows it because they would play the song during basketball games and he watches sports nonstop. My mom, I have no idea how she knew what A minor was, but she knew Kendrick released a really catchy song, Certified Pedophile, 69 God, A minor. There were so many quotables. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God's watching. Like there was so much. I hear you like them young. Better not go to cell block 1. What? So much. And then the beat is fucking crazy. Mustard on the beat. I am not going to yell mustard at the top of my lungs like Kendrick does on this new album. And then Kendrick goes on this massive marketing campaign for this song. Like, did Ether have a video? Kendrick drops the song that takes off like immediately. Then he releases a video for the song. Then he does this pop-up concert in LA, Juneteenth. He performs the song 4 times in a freaking row. The crowd goes crazier every single time it's performed. He keeps building on the momentum of the song. Then he ends up getting the damn Super Bowl, and then he drops another album. It's marketing genius. I can't even think of anything else that I've seen like this. He played the game well. And now Drake's suing him on some like, it's impossible that the song was just this popular. He had to have help. It had to be something corrupt behind the scenes. It's like, no, he just had really good timing and people were really kind of just over you. Drake's been big for a minute. He's had a longer than average run in hip hop. I don't think this is a situation where his own record label actively decided to work against one of their stars. I think it's a situation where, Kendrick just had a big hit that he also turned into a cultural moment. And you walk right into that colonizer shit, my dude. Like, you got to know your weak points. Oh, well. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This month is all about gratitude. And there's one person that most of us don't thank enough: ourselves. It's sometimes hard to remind ourselves that we are trying our best to make sense of everything. And in this crazy world, that isn't easy. Here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, including yourself. You know, I am a huge advocate of therapy, professional counseling. I think everybody needs it, especially the people that think they don't. And you don't have to wait until you're in crisis to get help. Get help to help you avoid a crisis. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I love how easy BetterHelp makes it to access good counseling. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/ratchet today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ratchet. What was your favorite childhood memory caught on film or videotape? Do you have an easy way to watch it and share with friends and family or to post it? Probably not. Lucky for you, we found a solution, Legacy Box. And now is the time to take advantage of their best sale of the year during their holiday sales event. Legacy Box is the most meaningful gift you can give this holiday season to family or even yourself. It's simple, safe, and has been trusted by millions, including me. And for a limited time, you can preserve your tapes, film, reels, and photos as low as $27, saving you hundreds. I got the idea to do Legacy Box when I was looking for old pictures of my parents. I wanted to do one of those videos where you showcase your parent now and then talk about how they used to break hearts back in the day. I'm digging through boxes in the basement and I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. Legacy Box is a simple and safe way to digitize your treasured videotapes, film reels, and photos. And they've helped over 1 million families do just that. Not to mention, everything is done by hand right here in the US. Convert your media to digital copies that will always be protected from floods, mold, or even the decay of time. The process is so easy. Send in your legacy box filled with old VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, and pictures. Their team professionally digitizes everything by hand in the USA, and you'll get it back on the cloud or thumb drive along with your originals. Legacy Box is the world's largest digitizer. They've helped over 1 million families relive their favorite memories. Hurry! Legacy Box's best sale of the year won't last long. Visit legacybox.com/ratchet for an unreal 65% off during the Legacy Box holiday sales event. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast. Shop Legacy Box's lowest prices of the year now at legacybox.com/ratchet. Buy your Legacy Box today. Send it when you're ready. Legacybox.com/ratchet. And other good West Side news, Issa Rae, this lady thinks she like Richard Branson or some shit. She stay opening something. And I say that with much love and no hate. Somebody advised Issa early on in her career she needed to have multiple streams of income, and she said, say less, say less. She's opened a new restaurant in South LA, View Park, Windsor Hills, and the restaurant is called Somerville. Is that correct? I mean, it's not typical summer. It's Somerville, Somerville, right? I'm reading this from her Instagram page. She says, always wanted a neighborhood lounge to complement the special community that is View Park, Windsor Hills. She says the ambiance will be fantastic, but the food and cocktails will keep you coming back. I saw pictures. She posted like 20 of them from, I think it looked like the opening night. I saw some folks I know in the photos, but I don't like know them to text them at this hour because LA hasn't even been to sleep yet. I'm 10 hours in the future from them. I can't just be texting folks like late night, like random, like, could you give me like a rundown of the restaurant? Has anybody been yet? Can anybody tell me about the food? Just shoot me a little DM. Let me know about the ambiance, the cocktails, the food. I'm curious. I expect it to be good. Issa's known for quality, so I expect to hear good reviews. So let me know how it is. I just want to know somebody firsthand. I'm not going to be out in LA until maybe February, end of February, early March. I would like to go back out for award season this year. I can't go for myself, so someone go and tell me what they saw. What all does Issa have? Like, she has a production company. She has the wine. She has a music label. She has coffee shops. And now a restaurant. I feel like I'm leaving at least like 2 or 3 things off that list. Go on and get your money, Black lady. Go on and get your money. I'm proud of you. Good job, Issa. Oh, we might need to plug in this computer. That would be helpful. Hold on 1 second. We almost had a Teddy Riley situation over here. I have 1% left. Congratulations to the cast of Wicked. They have the #1 film in America right now. I read that they raked in $114 million in the US for their opening weekend. So huge congratulations to them. The budget for the film, and the film is in 2 parts. They spent around $300 million. According to Variety, each part averaged a budget of around $150 million. So 114 opening weekend, that's big money. Despite all the money spent on the film, I read, and I don't know how accurate this is because I keep seeing this quoted everywhere, and I looked it up and I couldn't find a legitimate source. I'm bringing it up and I'm specifically saying I cannot verify this. I just see so many people speaking about it. That Ariana Grande, I wanted to call her Grande so bad. I didn't thought the girl was Latina for the longest time, and then found out that she was just, dyeing herself, tanning, dyeing, whatever you want to call it. But she was dyeing herself like a browner shade so that she would look, I don't know, more ethnic or whatever. But turns out the girl's Italian, like spicy white, but white nonetheless. But I heard that she got paid 15 million American USD dollars and dineros for this film. And that Cynthia Erivo, who was actually the star of the film, was paid somewhere between 1 million and 2 million American USD dollars and dineros. And I was like, wait, what? I also saw there was someone in the UK. They were talking about the promotion of the film in the papers in the UK, and they showed several covers of newspapers in the clip that were talking about Wicked, and they were only using the picture of Ariana Grande. They weren't showing Cynthia Erivo either as green or in her natural black on the cover at all. And they were like big pictures, big stories of substantial length about this new film, and didn't even use a picture of Cynthia Erivo at all, just the white girl. I'm telling you what the facts are. If you're waiting for me to be like, oh my God, that's so wrong, like justice for Cynthia. Cynthia Erivo has been working her ass off on these red carpets, doing publicity for the film. Her stylist is fucking amazing. He usually Versace downs her, which I have no issue with. Like she has a great figure that is just made for these ball gowns and these looks. Like they get out of the box, they get really crazy, and I love it. I think I commented on her stylist page, Jason Bolden, and I was like, please tell me that y'all get to keep all these looks because this is a great museum exhibition one day. Naomi currently has an exhibition right now in London, which I hope I get to see before it goes away. But it's all of her look. She kept so many of her gowns from over the years. Celine Dion, we talked about her documentary, and she had like warehouses of her stuff, but she kept all of her gowns. It's been in her contract for years. Sarah Jessica Parker, she's another one that does. And I was like, I hope Cynthia Erivo is keeping these because one day this is going to make a great exhibition because these gowns are like insane. Her looks are crazy. Her face, Joanna does her face. I can't afford Joanna no more. Joanna used to do my face far and long ago. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Cynthia Erivo, many years ago, made some unfortunate comments about Black Americans. I remember when she tweeted the thing, she said something about like ghetto American accent. Right after that, followed up with a tweet where she was writing in Ebonics, African American Vernacular English, whatever we're referring to it as now. The correlation there is that, like, Black people, Black Americans are ghetto. I didn't see this one, but it comes up every time Cynthia Erivo does a project, whether it's Aretha or Harriet or now Wicked. Well, she retweeted someone speaking about Black Americans are jealous of Africans. And Cynthia Erivo is a Black Brit by way of Nigeria, which makes it extra fucked up that the UK covers are putting white Ariana Grande on the cover as opposed to like the Black British woman who's actually from there. In anything about Wicked that's on Black sites, apparently Black theater people love Wicked. Like this is like their shit. I never got into Wicked. But in every comment section, most of the comments are about like, well, did Cynthia Erivo apologize yet? Like, when is she going to apologize for what she said? People are like, I would love to support her, but like, I can't in good conscience when she says these terrible things about Black Americans while portraying these iconic Black American people. Obviously, not so much this character in Wicked, but she's been Aretha Franklin, she's been Harriet Tubman, Celie in The Color Purple, which was her introduction. Celie on Broadway. It's the first time I met her. So I looked up to see if she had ever addressed any of this stuff. And the only thing I could find was interviews where she kind of like deflected, where she was like, I'm not a negative person. I don't deal in negativity. She was like, comments were taken out of context, but she never really explained exactly what she meant. And then she never really like apologized. She kind of just like sidesteps the issue. And I'm like, not sis, but girl, this is like your third project where like these feelings, these accusations, these like, this is how she feels about Black Americans, so we're not going to support her. This is following you from project to project to project. It was the exact same reaction with Harriet. It was the exact same reaction with Aretha. Now this. She is an immensely talented woman, full stop. Like, you can't deny that. And I would love to support her work. I really would. I would love to be like, oh, let's go see this movie. Like, I'm excited. Like, I don't know nothing about Wicked, but there's a Black girl with micro braids. So, like, I want to go see Wicked. I would love to have that conversation. I would love to get excited about that. But, like, I would feel stupid getting excited about that over someone who has verbally expressed, like, they think of me as like a ghetto Black American. Which, fine, that's how you think, then think it. But like, you can't expect me to support your shit if like that's what you think. And then like, you don't even want to engage in enough like basic PR to like walk it back, clean it up because you want to be supported by the Black American audience. You got to have enough common sense as someone who's trying to be a public figure in a country of Black Americans that you need to play nicer with the group that you need to support your work. An apology would do, or addressing it head on would do. Does she have a Black publicist? It's a genuine question. A lot of people don't. They like to have their white girl Jewish publicist. You know what? That's fine. Do what works for you, who has the access, but you need a Black girl on the team, somebody who can help you navigate some of these issues. Like, some version of this happens very often from the diaspora who try to come into the American market. There's always some sort of dust up. Like, remember Lupita? She didn't identify as Black, and people were like, ma'am, you not Black? Kenya doesn't have the same concept of race that we do. But it's like, if you had a Black publicist, which 100% Lupita didn't have at the time. I was still working in magazines when that happened. She did not have a Black publicist. So nobody like told her how to navigate like the Black audience. It was just like, oh, put on these pretty clothes and smile and, tell your Kenyan Mexican history. And nobody warned her about like, okay, so when like a Black person asks you what you is, you need to give your ethnicity as well as your race and be a proud Black woman. Otherwise, this ain't gonna go well for you. And didn't. Tyler, same thing. She's colored in South Africa, but she came to America talking about I'm colored, which technically, yes. But like, if she had a Black publicist, I'm not sure whether she has one, but just based on that mishap, I'm almost positive she didn't. Cynthia's is a little more fucked up than that. It's not so much a genuine error. It's like you said, the quiet fucked up part out loud. And I guess same, like maybe if you had like a Black publicist, they would have told you to shut up. But then also, who thinks somebody's dumb enough to say that shit? But, it was the early years of Twitter. People were wild. Just apologize. I hate to bring up this shit because I only like to talk about, people's shit when they're like actively engaged in it. I don't like to drag things. But this is just the most prominent example that always comes up in my head. The Nate Parker issue. Like, Nate Parker, when Birth of a Nation came out, the scandal from what happened when he was in college. We're not going to go into the details of it, but he put it out there as like a preliminary. Like, so don't think y'all went and dug something up. Like, I'm telling you this happened, blah, blah, blah. And then when people asked him about it, he got really defensive and he acted like he was the victim in the scenario and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all you ever had to do from like that very first interview was be like, that was a lifetime ago. I think he was in his late 30s at the time. This was something that happened when he was like 21, 22. Like, just say, like, I was a young man and I made poor choices. I didn't do something illegal, but with the person I am now, it doesn't sit with my ethics and my morals. I would definitely make different decisions now. It was a lifetime ago. He's a grown-ass man, married with 4 or 5 kids. I think all daughters at the time. He could have played all of that to his advantage. All he had to say was, I would make different decisions now than I did then. That's all most people have to say. Like, unless you've done some crazy shit, like you like Epstein on an island, or you like Diddy, like allegedly drugging and raping people, starving your artists, things like that. Like, most people want to forgive you, especially if they like your work and they feel that you're halfway sincere in what you're saying. Just apologize. Shit. I still wouldn't go see the movie. I'll eventually watch it. Not even because I'm really that interested in the movie. Like, my theater friends are going crazy and I want to see exactly what they're going crazy over. I'm not a big musicals person. Like, when I was living in London and it was just much more convenient to go to the theater, I was going all the time. But I like the Tina Turner thing or like the Temptations. Like, I like music that I already know. Hamilton, I don't think I ever made it through the end of Hamilton. I like the piano lesson. I like August Wilson plays. Like, I like shit like that.
Welcome to Monet Talks with me, your girl Monet Exchange, a weekly podcast where the only thing hotter than the tea is our topics, darling. Every single Thursday, we'll be bringing you candid interviews, fun segments, and games featuring a dazzling array of guests, including fellow queens, other celebrities, pop culture icons, friends, and maybe even an ex-boyfriend or four.
You want to hear something horrible?
Tell me.
I was outed.
Outed?
Yeah.
Say their name.
I think I found sobriety through my fans.
That's beautiful, bitch.
I love those little whores.
I'm normally not this nasty.
I bring it out of everyone.
That's the tea.
To watch the podcast in studio, see exclusive content, and get a glimpse of what goes on behind the scenes, head over to youtube.com/@MonetExchangeOfficial and tell all your friends you can listen to Monet Talks completely free on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Period.
Speaking of theater, Michelle Williams, Destiny's Child Michelle, she is on stage on Broadway. Death Becomes Her. I knew Michelle was on Broadway only because, remember the dance party with Beyonce? Back when we had hope and optimism? Kamala Harris is in her final week of the campaign. She does an event in Houston, and Beyonce and Kelly come out holding hands. And everyone's like, but where's Michelle? Where's Michelle? Why y'all leave Michelle out? Where's Michelle? She went on Sherry Shepherd and was like, hey, I'm okay. I don't have beef with anybody and nobody has beef with me. Everybody's good. It's all love. But I had to work. I'm on Broadway right now. And like, I can't leave to go do the campaign. Mama got to earn her wages and checks. Beyonce, Michelle, Miss Tina went to see Michelle on Broadway. And then there have been clips circulating of Michelle on Broadway. She's singing her whole ass off. Ain't nobody ever said Michelle can't sing. Now, dancing, that's another story for another day. But Michelle can sing and is on Broadway singing her little ass off. Also, another side note about Michelle. I don't know why I want to call this man John so bad. When I first met him, I called him John. And he was like, my name's not John. Jay Bolin. I have no idea what the J stands for. I think he told me. I can't remember. Was it Jake? But Jay Bolin has been styling Michelle for the last couple years, and Michelle has been looking, he's a Christian man, so I'm not going to use the F word. I'm going to say Michelle looks fabulous. Whatever you doing over there, Jay, whatever the J stand for, Bolin, you doing good work. I like what I see. Keep doing right by our girl. What else do we have over here? We talked about Wicked. We talked about Kendrick. Oh, Luther. That's another reason I need to get to LA. Luther just had an exhibit open at the Grammy Museum. And he's got this documentary coming out. Did y'all know Luther is Black famous? That white people don't know Luther like that? Hold on, I'm trying to pull this up. What is my signal doing? Okay, there's an exhibit at the Grammy Museum. It just opened November 20th. It's on until June 15th. I will definitely be in LA before June. It's called Luther Vandross, Artistry and Elegance. Tickets are currently on sale. Has anybody in LA been to this yet? If you have been, can you DM and report back and let me know how it is? It says Luther Vandross, Artistry and Elegance celebrates the extraordinary life and legacy of Luther Vandross, 8-time Grammy winner, revered songwriter, arranger, producer, performer, and one of the most gifted vocalists in music history. The exhibit offers an intimate glimpse into Vandross's creative process and showcases his ornate stage wardrobe. So they got the jackets with the glitter, the rhinestones, exclusive performance footage from his popular tours, and a never-before-heard recording of him in the studio. Oh, this is a quick little bio. He captured the spotlight in the 1970s as a sought-after backup singer, collaborating with luminaries such as David Bowie, Roberta Flack, Quincy Jones, Chaka Khan, Bette Midler, and Carly Simon. As a solo artist, he became renowned for his relatable lyrics about love, mesmerizing live performances characterized by dynamic bands, elaborate stage designs, and striking custom costumes worn by his background singers. Vandross achieved remarkable success, charting a top 10 R&B hit every year from 1981 to 1994, and releasing, I didn't know this, 11 consecutive platinum records with over 40 million albums sold worldwide. I really just read 40 million albums. In my mind, I thought, that's it? Luther only sold 40 million? No, not 100 million? Did you hear that voice? That's why I'm saying. I was reading the other day that like white people don't really know who Luther is. And I was like, what? But that would explain like why it's 40 million and not 100. And in the documentary that I watched, the Luther documentary, it talked about how Luther was really frustrated that he was considered R&B, that he never crossed over into pop. White folks is missing out. I'm not going to be the one to tell them, but like they missed out on that. So the exhibit highlights include hand-beaded suits and jumpsuits worn by Vandross and his background singers during the Power of Love tour in 1991. This is what I was talking about, like saving your shit. An emerald green hand-beaded suit with 2 matching gowns worn by Vandross's background singers alongside his black tuxedo from his 1993 to 94 performances. Is that Skinny Luther or Big Luther? 93 to 94? I don't remember. I think that's like fuller size Luther. It don't matter. Original fashion sketches of Vandross's tour wardrobe and then handwritten lyrics and studio notes for I Can Make It Better, featuring an exclusive recording of Vandross crafting the song, and then 6 of his 8 Grammy Awards. That's it. I know that's a lot. I'm not mad at it. I'm going to the Grammy Museum when I'm in LA. I definitely want to see this exhibit. But I just feel like there's so much more for Luther. Maybe he didn't save his stuff? Well, I'm happy with what they have. Thank you, Grammy Museum. I'm not trying to be shady or anything. I just, Luther is like huge. I just thought, more. I'm not trying to be shady. I swear I'm not. Last but not least, in good Black news, I'm putting this in good Black news because the saga has finally come to an end. Jussie Smollett, his most recent case in court got overturned. And I was like, wait, this is still going on? I thought this had been resolved, and apparently not. I'm reading this on Entertainment Weekly. It says Jussie Smollett's conviction overturned in alleged hate crime hoax. I mean, kind of, sort of. If you can remember back this long, a lot of life has happened since then. In 2019, Jussie Smollett is in Chicago and says at 2 a.m., cold as fuck, because it's winter in Chicago, decided to go out to get a Subway sandwich. And he says 2 men attacked him, yelling MAGA, and then one of them put a noose around his neck. He calls the police and reports this hate crime. They do an investigation, and basically they like, nigga, you lying. Jussie has insisted for years, that this actually happened. An investigation found evidence that it was all a setup, that the men that Jussie said attacked him were these like 2, were they brothers or they just looked alike? I know they was Nigerian. I know the whole country of Nigeria be like, why we got to be in it? A grand jury indicts Jussie on 16 felony charges for falsifying police reports and lying to investigators. The assistant state's attorney strikes a deal with Jussie's defense team, and they drop all the charges in exchange for Jussie performing community service and paying a $10,000 bond to the city of Chicago. EW notes that this was not a popular decision. It says Trump, who was president at the time, because literally we've had a whole pandemic and a whole presidency since this happened. Trump and Rahm Emanuel, formerly Obama's chief of staff, then the mayor of Chicago, disagreed with dropping the charges against Jussie. The following year, in 2020, a special prosecutor was appointed to redo the case. Jussie is convicted of disorderly conduct. He was sentenced to 30 months of felony probation, with the first 150 days to be served in county jail. He never served the sentence. He appeals the conviction, and then the appellate court upheld the ruling. He appealed it again, and it went to the Illinois Supreme Court, which, that was 2020, 4 years later, has reversed the decision of the jury, saying that because the government made a deal with Jussie, that was the $10,000, the community service, that he'd fulfilled his end of the bargain. So there was no legal basis for trying him again. This never should have gone this far. There's nothing about this case. No one was raped, assaulted. No one was murdered. No children were harmed. This is a waste of taxpayer money. The $10,000 bond, the community service, they maybe should have gave him some probation back then just to be a dick because he was one. He deserved more than a slap on the wrist, but not something that like really impacts his life. Lee Daniels wrote him off the show. I didn't watch Empire. I'm literally learning this, reading EW today. And I was like, did they now? They did. This was not a 4-year case. Nothing about this should have gone on for 4 years. I know it's the fact that Jussie appealed and then appealed again and blah, blah, blah. After he paid the bond, it should have been the end of it. Hiring a special prosecutor to go after him for lying to the police. I know it was crazy. It made Chicago look like lawless, and Chicago's like, we got enough problems without you adding to it. I understand that. I understand the people that are like, Jussie out here making up hate crimes, like people who actually experience real hate crimes, real like, racism and abuse, like Jussie's making it harder for them. Jussie's not actually doing that. That's a function of racism. I don't feel that just because one woman lied about assault, that means every woman is also lying about assault. That one woman lied. That doesn't mean every woman lied. But I also don't hate women. People who already hated Black people before Jussie even did this are the people who are going to be like, oh, well, he's lying because that other boy lied. Those two people don't know each other. They've never met. They have no association. They just both happen to be Black. Like, you're racist. It was stupid. It was dumb. It was insulting to his intelligence and the intelligence of the people. Maybe he should have paid $100,000. Hit his pockets a little harder. It's good news because this case is overturned. And hopefully this is the very end of it. And we ain't got to hear about Jussie in this case no more. I think Jussie lied, just for clarity. And I absolutely don't care, not even a little bit at all, that he did lie. He's an actor. You kind of lie for a living. Can he act? Can he cry on cue? Can he give me believable moments? He can. I hope everyone just moves on. I'm moving on.
Hey everybody, my name is Bob the Drag Queen.
And I'm on Exchange.
And we are the hosts of Sibling Rivalry. This is the podcast where two best friends gab, talk, smack, and have a lot of fun with our Black queer selves.
Yeah, for sure. And we are family, so we talk about everything, honey, from why we don't like hugs, to Black Lives Matter, to interracial dating, to other things. Right, Bob?
Yes, and it gets messy, and we are not afraid to be wrong. So please join us over here at Sibling Rivalry, available anywhere you get your podcast. You can listen and subscribe for free.
For free, honey.
Do you see this Boots commercial? We don't have Boots in the States. It's the UK version of CVS or Dwayne Reed, Walgreens for the South. So they did this commercial. It's a Christmas commercial. It's starring, we know her as Lady Danbury from Bridgerton, Ajua Endo, the Black lady with the cane. She was the auntie. So Lady Danbury is in this commercial and she's playing Mrs. Claus. The concept of the commercial is it's the night before Christmas. They're at the North Pole. All the presents are not complete. And Santa is like on his ass by the fireplace, like knocked out. She walks in, sees her husband not doing shit, and was like, all right, like we can't drop the ball, got to get to work. So she goes into the workshop. It's her and a bunch of elves, and they pull together all the gifts, everything that is on sale for purchase at Boots, including navy bows that she like literally pulls out of thin air. And they all get to work pulling everything together. In the process of putting all these presents together, she refers to someone as they, them. So not he, she, using inclusive language. And then also, I didn't recognize these folks, but apparently many people that are featured in the commercial are quote and unquote woke TikTok influencers. Some of them may be trans as well. Like I've watched this commercial twice. It's a lot of white people. I don't really follow a lot of white people online. I don't recognize them. Well, there's some color. There is some color. I'm looking at it right now. But I don't recognize a lot of people in the commercial. I don't know who's trans or who's not. They saying folks is trans. So be it. At the end of the commercial, she gets everything done. Santa wakes up, he gets in the sled, and he takes off. And then she walks over to the camera and she says something like, thought it was all him, saying that, like, you thought Santa was here doing all the work. And then it's really like the women that are pulling this whole Christmas together. Women love the commercial because that's who typically pulls Christmas together. The women in households, more often than not, the women are the ones who do the Christmas shopping, who do the Christmas decorating, who do the gift wrapping, who do the cooking, whether it's the cookies for Santa or whatever y'all are eating on Christmas Day. It's largely the labor of women that pulls Christmas together. I watched this commercial. I thought it was brilliant, even without thinking about all of like the subtext of like who's trans and the man is being lazy and the woman is doing the work. There's like people flying all around the commercial. There's just a lot going on. She's twirling around in this blue dress and she's got her shorn hair. Like she just looked really pretty. And it was just like, it was just a pretty commercial to look at. It was just, it was exciting. It had energy. So the UK has its own version of the right wing, what we call MAGA. And some of this right wing contingent was very upset about this commercial. This is something that never would have registered on my radar. The actress, I'm reading this tweet that's included in an article from the Standard UK. The complaint is that the actress famously described the royal family on the Buckingham Palace balcony as terribly white, which I was like, is the royal family not all white? I had to look up this incident. I was actually in London the weekend it happened, but I wasn't tapped in. So she watched the King's coronation, King Charles. She was on live TV as one of the commentators. After the coronation, they go back to the palace and they stand on the balcony. The whole family is there. And she observes, and again, the whole family is there with the kids and everything. Looking at all those young people, there's a bit of me that has gone from the rich diversity of Westminster Abbey, because looking at the audience there was a lot of color splashed in. And she says, gone from the rich diversity of Westminster Abbey to the terribly white balcony. And apparently this commentary really pissed people off. I'm reading here on BBC, it says the broadcast regulator received more than 8,000 complaints about the commentary. I'm reading here on The Independent where she's explaining her remarks. She says, quote, "I think I may have upset a few people yesterday." She says, "I was talking about the day and how marvelous it was, then looking at the balcony at the end and suddenly going, oh, it's so white, because the day had been so mixed and I didn't mean to upset anybody." She went on to say, quote, that she would continue to celebrate the king during an exciting moment in our history. See, an apology when you fumble and don't want that smoke. Maybe Cynthia want that smoke. Maybe that's why she don't apologize. I don't know. I could let it go. I could. But yes, people were really upset about this ad. The use of the woke influencers, I think I said that. The they, them pronouns, I think I said that. And then also that Santa is white. That wasn't the problem, but it was the fact that he's white and he's depicted as like this lazy bum. So he's just laying around while everyone else does all the work. The folks went on to call the ad, quote, un-British, which I was like, because a black lady was Mrs. Claus? Like, really? And then they were so upset that they called for a boycott of the store. And I was like, is it that serious? It's that serious. Y'all need to boycott the store. It's that serious? White man not centered. Black person featured as a fictional character. The nigga ain't real, y'all. He ain't real. I remember being in high school, maybe like a junior. I had this little friend group from people in my class, and there was a white girl in the group. And after school, we took her to Landover Mall, like the Black Mall. It was around Christmas, and there was a black Santa. Because Black Mall, like all the people shopping there are black. Like, what other color would the Santa be? And she had a fucking meltdown in the middle of the mall about seeing a black Santa. Like, she was like, why would they make Santa black? There's no such thing as a black Santa. Like, she went like off. And we were like, yo, your friends are black, one, and you're in a black space. You need to bring that shit down to a 10. You in the wrong place to be shouting about, like, why is there a black Santa? And this is like 95? This isn't like when it had the Garfinkles and, like, the cute stores, like the Limited and shit. Like, this is long past that version of Landover. We were like, girl, stop. You will get your ass beaten here. And there's nothing we could do to help you. Stop. She was Not my first white friend. I had a little white friend when I was 5. I don't remember much about her, but my mom was like, she and her family were good. But I was like, yo, like this white chick, we've been cool for like years now. And like, this is how you feel about Black people, that like they can't even be fictional figures? Like the fuck? Our friendship ain't really last that long after that for obvious reasons. And it just never crossed her mind that like Black people might have cultural images in their own image. Wait till she found out about Jesus. That's not going to be a good day for her either. I thought that commercial was really cute. Folks just want to be mad sometimes, I'm convinced.
I'm Louie, aka the baddest perra.
And I'm Yoatzi.
And we're siblings. We might not be the most intelligent.
Or the smartest.
Or inteligentes.
You just said that.
Oh, yeah. But at least we're pretty. You may have seen our viral challenge videos, Mexican food mukbangs, and family vlogs. But did you know we're also the hosts of the podcast Pretty Not Smart?
On our show, we expose all the chisme in our lives, from our wildest dating stories to childhood feuds to our scary ghost stories.
But don't worry, it's not all drama all the time. We discuss financial hardship, the importance of taking care of your mental health, and our experiences dealing with complicated family relationships.
Because we're siblings, we know each other better than anyone, which means we also know how to beef with each other like it's nobody's business.
Who doesn't love listening in on a little sibling conflict?
We've also had some amazing guests join the show, like YouTubers Adam Ray and Laura Mellado, and so many more.
At the end of the day, I'm happy to be the pretty one and Yoatzi the smart one.
No, it's definitely the other way around.
And who told you that lie?
Ask the audience.
So if you want to hear the juicy perspectives of two pretty siblings, tune into Pretty Not Smart.
Available wherever you get your podcasts.
In bad Black news, usually when somebody's biracial, I just claim them. I just pull them in. They're like Black. Like Dwayne Johnson, I'm like, you Samoan and your daddy Black, so we just gonna claim you full Black. I'm gonna pass him over to his Samoan people now because I don't know him no more. And you know how I used to love The Rock. I was a huge Rock fan, not so much for the wrestling, but him in them suits on Ballers did something for me. The Rock is in a new film that's not doing so good. The film cost allegedly $250 million American USD dollars to create. It came in number 3 over the weekend with only 13.3 million in ticket sales. After 2 weeks of release, they've only made $117 million. It's not looking too good. Folks are speculating that one of the reasons that the film cost so much is that The Rock wasn't showing up to work on time. He was showing up to set around 8 hours late. And so they had to delay shooting or shoot around him or whatever because of these delays. He has admitted that he showed up late, but he said it was because he was at the gym. He was like, it was nowhere near 8 hours. Like that's an exaggeration. I want to say The Wrap reported that he was showing up 8 hours late. The Wrap also reported at the same time, and this is why I have to deny him. I was like, I can't claim you no more. The Wrap had reported back in, I think, April, that when he was on set and he needed to use the bathroom, when he needed to make water, that he was not going to the bathroom and instead he was urinating in water bottles, specifically Voss water bottles. So no bathroom for you, no porta potty for you, water bottles. That's what you were choosing to do. And so not only was he urinating in water bottles, he would urinate in the bottle and then make one of his assistants throw it out. Nigga, that's nasty. If for some reason you have some issue, some incontinence issues, and for whatever reason you can't make it to the bathroom and all that is available to you is a water bottle, do what you have to do for the sake of your dignity. The man is in an action flick. He is not physically hindered in some way from getting to a bathroom. He's also on the set of a Hollywood film. If there was some sort of issues or something, then I'm sure they would work around him. They would put the portable bathroom right there next to the set so that their star, who they paid $50 million for this film, could get his needs met. He's choosing to pee in the bottle. Also, I don't care what your situation is, unless you are not able-bodied to do so. If you pee in a bottle, if that's the choice you choose for your life and your urine, the least you could do is throw out your own piss. This nigga is peeing in bottles and then having some assistant that probably is barely making minimum wage throw your shit out. Fuck you. That's gross. You're gross. You're a gross person. And I mean, gross is in nasty, and then gross is in your character. You're a gross person. Yuck. Yuck. So when the story initially came out in April, The Rock didn't say anything about it. But it's come up again because people on set have been talking about it. This was in GQ. They asked him about the bottles and was like, yo, do you be pissing in bottles on set? To which his response was, yeah, that happens. So it's not like people making it up anymore. It's not gossip. It's not rumor. It's not innuendo. He has said that, yes, like he on set pees in bottles. His new film, because I'm reading this on The Guardian. I don't know if I said that, but his new film, The Guardian notes, Red One is the name of the film, has received overwhelmingly negative reviews. The Guardian's reviewer gave it 1 star and described it as, quote, profoundly depressing and blandly sentimental. It's a Christmas movie. Santa gets kidnapped or something, and then The Rock and like some other Chris Evans. That's that fine big body white boy, ain't it? They have to like go save Santa. Yes, I'm seeing it described as a Santa bounty hunter comedy. I guess, but I'm like, a Christmas movie for $250 million? Folks got money. Whether they want to spend it on you or not is another thing, but folks got money. And very sad Black news. I don't like this news at all. Day-Day, Damian Williams, the district attorney out of New York, has officially resigned. I told y'all this was coming because Trump was going to replace him. He released a statement yesterday, I believe. Where did I get this from? I screenshotted the statement. It says, today is a bittersweet day for me as I announce my resignation as United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York. It's bitter in the sense that I'm leaving my dream job, leading an institution I love that is filled with the finest public servants in the world. It is sweet in that I am confident I'm leaving at a time when the office is functioning at an incredibly high level, upholding and exceeding its already high standard of excellence, integrity, and independence. That success is due to the career attorneys, staff members, and law enforcement agents of this office. Working with them during my tenure has been a privilege of a lifetime. They are worthy custodians of this office's tradition of doing the right thing, the right way, for the right reasons. They are patriots. They are my family, and I will miss them dearly. Ugh. I told you Trump wants to replace him, and so he's resigning, taking the Christmas holidays, it seems, before Trump takes office in January. Like me, many folks are speculating about what happens with these 2 big cases that Day-Day had in the works, one with Mayor Eric Adams, the other with Diddy. Where did I read this? I'm so mad I didn't screenshot it. But wherever I read it, it says the outcome of these high-profile cases remains uncertain. Trump might choose to pardon both Diddy and Adams. Is it pardon if the charges are dropped? I don't see these cases going all the way through. I think the charges are going to be dropped. It says, while Adams has been cautious with Trump recently, Diddy has a different story. Back in 2020, Diddy criticized Trump harshly. Donald Trump Jr. recently gave an interview mentioning that his ex-wife knew Kim Porter and suggested that Diddy was viewed with fear. Yeah, I think both cases are going to be dropped, and not necessarily because they don't think that Adams or Diddy are guilty or deserve to be tried or this lawsuit to happen, just because there was a really, really smart, uppity Black guy who decided to bring charges against these 2 men, and they just want to like derail the 2 biggest cases, in popularity at least, of Damian Williams' career. So he won't have that as part of his legacy. That's all it's going to be about. That's it. That's all. But 100%, I think Diddy and Eric Adams, these cases are gone. At the latest, these charges are dismissed by April at the latest. That's my call. Damn, I hate to see Day-Day go, though. He got 50 million degrees from Ivy schools and his wife got a good job. They're not losing the house. They'll be able to eat. They'll be all right. They'll thrive. I just hate this for him because he was on a career roll. He was going to be fun to watch. Damn it. Trump ruins everything. We really need to stop here. We talked about Sean before, so it's not like I'm adding anything like super, super, super. I wish we had time to talk about it. We just don't. I'm so sorry. But Aldous Hodge and Cross and this girlfriend. It's been bothering me since I watched it last weekend. I didn't say anything at first because I wanted to give people an opportunity to watch the show. I know everybody doesn't have 8 hours of time just to sit down and like binge a TV show. I respect your time. This shit with the girlfriend, I am giving spoilers. Cut this off right now if you do not want to know about this show and the girlfriend. Stop. Go away. If you stay, I'm assuming you want to hear this. Okay. The show starts with Aldous Hodge's wife, let's just say dying. And then it fast forwards to a year later. He has a girlfriend. I'm like, already? Men will replace your ass so fast. Men and Nene Leakes. They be like, okay, you gone? Well, it's not like you coming back. Until death do us part. You died. I'm in the clear. But he has like a whole girlfriend like a year later. We also find out that he has 2 youngest children. The boy might be 10. The daughter is she like 7? I don't know. But they're like young kids. Girlfriend, badass chick, beautiful woman, no kids. She and Aldous Hodge, Cross, called him by his name in the show. She and Cross, both very gorgeous people, have history. It seems like they went to a dance together in high school. In my mind, I just called it prom, but it could have just been homecoming. I don't know. But they have history that goes back far. So I'm like, oh, okay. That's might be why she even considers dating this man, widower, whose wife died 1 year ago and has these 2 young kids. That's the only way it can kind of make sense. And it still don't really make no sense because I'm like, sis, like be his friend while you there. Couple other things happen. I don't remember the order. Doesn't really matter. She has a dinner party at her house. She invites her dude. He's a cop. He gets into a heated discussion with one of the guys at the table who's basically like, how are you a black cop? Aldous Hodge gets so upset with the dinner party guest that he hems him up. They end up breaking, I want to say like her grandmother's crystal glasses. So like family heirlooms are broken. You know, you're supposed to be my new boo, this fine dude that I'm dating. And then he comes and like shows his ass. So I ask again, why are you there? I mean, he's fine, but you can also make him a cuddy buddy. You ain't got to like bring him around your people and whatnot. Relationship don't make no sense. She forgives him. Then there's another instance. He goes by the house. They spending good times. It's feelings and energy being exchanged. And like, she wants some dick. They kissing and things are getting passionate and he got her up against the wall. And then he's suddenly like, I can't. I'm not ready. I'm sorry. This nigga comes with this much baggage and this much headache and you ain't fucking him? Come on. I ask again, sis, why are you there? There's another scene, a birthday party. She going to the rich and fancy white people's house. She trying to get in front of some guy and pitch her nonprofit and needs investment. And he goes to the party with her and then makes a goddamn scene again. She doesn't know the full backstory of what it is initially. And then he explains and she's like, wait, so you wasn't going to come to this party with me. And then you only decided to come because you wanted to get access to this person that was throwing the party. So you used me essentially? Yeah. That would have been the end for me. I mean, he explains like, you know, this is why I did it and blah, blah, blah. She's still pissed off, and rightfully so. Again, so you're dating this man who's still not over his wife, who it shouldn't be because she just died a year ago. He was madly in love with the lady and she's dead, like, and died in his arms. And he got 2 kids. This man has no space for you and this family is not ready for you. And he consistently embarrasses you when you take him around your people and them. Why are you here? Final episode. He in some shit. Somebody coming after him. She takes his kids up to the cabin to like protect them, keep them safe. And I was like, yo, this is a good ass woman in the sense that no matter what you do, she keeps coming around and keeps showing up for you when really I'm like, why are you there, sis? I know he fine. He did finally dick her down though. I guess it was good. I feel like it was an abbreviated sex scene. I don't remember it. Just, why are you there, sis? Why are you still gonna be there in season 2, sis? That's the episode. We're not doing Shine. It's just, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Yeah. We'll talk on Friday. Next week, well, we should be good. Might be late. We should be good though. All right. Bye.